Hiya, welcome to GGKCS, a multi-generational podcast / FlossTube for fans of all things knitting, cross-stitch, and geeky. I'm Cece, and I'm so glad you're here today. Today is Saturday, the 7th of May, 2022, and this is episode 484, which is completely divisible by 4. I don't know, that fascinates me. Like, it fascinates me that, if you add up the numbers of a number and it's divisible by, that number is divisible by 3, then the entire number will be divisible by 3. Like, let's see. Like, that one wouldn't work. So, like, if your number was, oh, wait, no, is that right? Or is it if the last digit is divisible by 3? Now I'm questioning my math skills. And if anybody knows, I don't know. I think that's what it is if you add up the numbers. So if it was 474, 4 plus 7 plus 4 is 15. And 15 is divisible by 3, so 474 should be divisible by 3. Let's ask the calculator. Yes, 474 divisible by 3, 158. If I'm wrong and the math doesn't work on this, obviously I need more caffeine. And we rely on calculators nowadays, right? So, did I say welcome back? Big, if you, now see, I'm all totally discombobulated. Like to say a big welcome back to all returning viewers. Love you, and a big hi to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. Okay. I've got quite a few things to talk to you about this morning, and I want to try to get this done before an appointment I have coming up. So we're going to try to get through this and see if I can get done recording before I have to leave for my appointment. Otherwise, I'll have to finish recording when I get back. So, but I think we should probably just go ahead and get started. Here we go. All right, let's talk about what's on my needles. First up, in my kitty cat bag from Little Fish Stitches, I have birthday socks for my bestie Katie's oldest son, Noah. I'm using my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern that you can find on javapearldesigns.com. And as always, everything that we talk about in the episode is linked in the show notes, ggkcs.com. All right, so I'm doing these on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Knit Picks Felici in the Bookshop colorway. Sock number 1 is done. Sock number 2, I'm getting close. I'm a little disappointed that for some reason, like I knew the stripe color wasn't going to match up, but for some reason here in the middle, I had to like they're very narrow stripes because I don't know what happened, but it's fine. It's fine. Let's see how much more I have to go. Looks like maybe a stripe and a half of color and then the ribbing. So, making good progress on these. This colorway is so pretty. So pretty. Yeah. These are, I think these are 64 stitch circumference, which is the same circumference as I do for his mama and me and Dammy. So, and he's 10. Let's see, he was two, no, he's, right, will he be 11 this year maybe? I think he'll be 11 this year. So, the other thing on my knitting needles right now in my maker bag from Nerdbird Makery is the Dust of Snow wrap by Helen Stewart, Curious Handmade. While I have this open, I will tell you that I have done 216 rows out of 570. And I am somewhere between 35 and 40% complete. At the end of next week, I will be 40% complete. I have finished 9 of the colors. And this is so hard to show y'all, but I'm going to try. So I really want to I want to be able to block it so I can open up the lace. So I finished last night the green and purple color, which was, I don't even have it in my notes yet. Pandia's Snug in the, but I think I came out more Magician colorway, which is a Doctor Who colorway. And then I've started, you can see that blue is fading in. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I love this. And well, y'all know I love all these sections with the pink. So yeah, so it's already getting quite long, and I'm only, like I said, I'm between 35 and 40% complete. And then when I block it, it's gonna grow so much. So yeah, I do 12 rows a week on it, and yeah, that'll get me done by the end of the year. So that is everything that's on my needles. I don't have this week's preemie hat on my needles yet, but I will later today because I'll go ahead and make the pom-pom and everything. And but I have several FOs to show you, so we should move on to the next segment. And now we're going to talk about what knitted finishes I have since the last time I talked to you. And they're all 3 preemie hats. So the preemie hat pattern that I use is a free pattern that I designed. It's the top-down preemie hat pattern. You can find it for free on our website, javapearldesigns.com. I do these all on US 6s. So here is number 16 for the year. This is the multicolor, the variegated is Bernay Softy Baby in the Princess Pebbles colorway, and the pink is Renee Cotton Tots in the Strawberry colorway. I think I used, yeah, I know I did. I used up all of the Princess Pebbles, which I have knit with Princess Pebbles. I don't know how many things I've knit with Princess Pebbles because it's a color that I use for baby gifts. So yeah, so there's number 16. Here's number 17. Oh, I love this one so much. And okay, so I held together Barocco Vintage DK in the white colorway and Arctic Yarns by Abby self-patterning sock in the Sugar Skull colorway. And the Sugar Skull colorway is from my Dust of Snow wrap, and I love it so much in this hat. Isn't it just so fun? I mean, I know I'm not at all getting the self-patterning, which is fine. I didn't get it in the Dust of Snow wrap or in this, and that's fine. The colors are just fabulous. These little pops of purple, but all that pink. Oh, look at that pom-pom with the yellow. I love it. Okay, and then number 18 was a mix mash because I thought I had enough color of one color and I didn't. So I used a fully spun postscript fingering in the Intersex Pride colorway. So that's that yellow and purple and white. That's also from the Dust of Snow wrap. I used Knit Picks Galileo in the pearl colorway, which is this gray. I ran out of the gray. And so I had to use Craft Slayer PDX fingering in a one-of-a-kind gray colorway. So that's the darker gray, which you can't really tell. It's fairly close. And I ran out of the fully spun one, and so I had to use Desert Vista Dyeworks sock in an unknown colorway, which is coming up in my Dust of Snow wrap, but I knew I would have plenty, so I pulled it out because it's got some of the colors. It blends. So this is kind of a mix mash of 4 colors to make this hat, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So preemie hats number 16, 17, and 18 for the year. I think this is my favorite of the year so far. So yay. Yeah, and I'll just keep doing one of these a week, and hopefully soon I'll be able to donate them to the hospital because my bag overfloweth. The bag in the top of my closet. I think I'm gonna have to like put them in a box and maybe, I don't know, get them to them somehow when they start accepting again. So because I'm not at the hospital that much. So, and we Here's life news. I mean, well, we hired a third person for my team at work, which is amazing. So we've been training him. He's been with us for a couple of weeks now. And once he's completely trained, knock on wood, the plan as we understand it is we're going to go from having to be on site once every 2 weeks to once every 3 weeks. So we just need somebody on site 1 day a week. And so my current coworker, or the one that I've had, he and I just flip-flop every week, trade off every week. So once our new person is trained, we should be able to trade off every 3 weeks. And that makes me super excited. So, okay. I have a cross-stitch FO as well. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for FlossTube. Okay, my FO, I'm holding it up in front of an envelope just so that you can see it because I haven't put the backing on it yet. So as y'all know, I'm stitching a cross-stitch Christmas ornament every month this year for Christmas that is upcoming. This is the motif tree pattern from JBW Designs, Judy Whitman. I stitched it on 14 count Mill Hill white perforated paper, and I was like, I want to use different colors. So I used 4 colors of sulky. If you want to know the numbers, 1046, 1119, 4011, and 4046. So one of them is this pink and white variegated that I used on the bunnies and like through here, the stars. The brown that I used for the base, the stem of the tree. I think we've discussed this before. What is it called? It's not the stem. The trunk of the tree, the trunk. Okay, brain, remember that, trunk. And then the turquoise, and then there is another pink that I used for those right there and for the hearts. So I think it turned out really cute. I debated on how to cut this out. I'm not 100% thrilled with exactly how I decided to cut it out, but it's fine. It's fine. So I'll be backing. I've got a whole stack of these over here of ornaments that need to be fully finished. I have like the snowflakes. I have fire truck. I have this Mill Hill. I have this Mill Hill. I have this tree and this tree. And now, come out. And now this tree. So, I will get these all fully finished. I may just wait and fully finish them all at the same time, like right around Christmas time. I'm going to back them with felt, which I don't know if you can see it right here. This is a whole package of sticky felt. And then just put a loop and hang them on the tree. So, there was an FO. I don't think I worked on this. I didn't bring it over here to talk about, so I don't think I worked on my kitten and pumpkin, which is fine. I had last week, especially, my crafting time was way cut down because I had to work overtime because my coworker that I've had was out on PTO, plus the new coworker started, and so I was training him all last week. So I ended up having to work overtime. I had to be on site 2 days, and I had to start work early 2 days. And so I was just wiped, and so I got very little crafting time at all last week. Okay, so let me show you next in my Outlander. Oh my gosh, Outlander. To bed or to sleep project bag that I had made by Stitch Toolbox. And I am, why is my, oh, it's an update. Okay, that's fine. I was like, why is there a thing popping up on my computer? I am doing the River by Modern Folk Embroidery, but the modification I made is I took this piece down here, and instead of the letters and numbers, I flipped this so that it's mirrored at the top and bottom. Everything in this project except for the project bag, so the pattern, the floss, and the fabric, and the needle minder are all from the Black Needle Society, where I am a rep, and you can use the code JavaPearl5, JAVAPURL, and the number 5 for 5% off everything in the vault, which is where they put stuff after that have been in a box that they had extra of. So, okay. And I am stitching 185 stitches a week on this, which should give me a finish by the end of the year. Oh, this is so hard to show y'all. Hold on, let me see if I fold this in, maybe. Okay. I don't know, but then that... Let's see. Okay. That's a little better. Well, sorry, y'all. I need like a third hand. Okay. So that top is done. And this next section is almost done. I started working on this last flower motif last night, and I went ahead and did the math. I won't quite finish this flower motif with my 185 stitches this week, but it'll be close. I love the stripy deer there in the middle. It was just, I just stitched. I was like, I'm not gonna fussy cut or plan or anything. I'm just gonna let it be what it is. And so I love the stripy deer in the middle there. So I will almost finish this flower motif this week. And so next week I should finish the flower motif and maybe finish the box all the way around this section. And then it's time for this huge section, which is where I will spend a bulk of the year in that huge section there. So I'm loving how this is turning out. It is just so much fun to stitch, and I can't wait till it's finished. Oh, I didn't tell you, the fabric is still City Stitchers 16 count Ada in the Crimson Peak colorway, and the floss is Forbidden Fiber Co. in the River of Life colorway. So I am loving that. And then my other project that I've been working on in my Knit Run Dig Winnie the Pooh bag is Edinburgh Castle by Terra Luna Stitchery. All the details of everything I use in this project are in the show notes at ggkcs.com. So I had a big moment for this last weekend. So as you know, if you follow me on the social medias or you're a returning viewer, I've got pink pearl hair on this, which is not surprising. I have been doing 25/7 on this project. So I'm stitching at least 25 stitches a day on it, and more likely 25 minutes, which sometimes turns into a little bit more, but it's fine. It's fine. Last Saturday was 365 days. So, which I think I finished this diagonal there, I think is where I had finished, last Saturday. Look, I'm like really starting to work in this color up here. I had to move it in the Q-snap because I couldn't stitch anymore because it was already all the way over here on this side. Yeah, so I ended up doing about 12% on this over the course of those 365 days. And you have to remember, when I first started doing 25/7, I was only doing 25 stitches a day. So, and then one day I would do 50, so that I would do 200 stitches a week. Now I'm averaging around like between 800 and 1,000 stitches a week. Though as we get into the castle, that's probably going to go down because it's very confetti heavy. But in these areas that where it's like 1 color or 2 color or 3 color, those are going very quickly. So I'm getting a higher stitch count. So, but I mean, I am thrilled. 12% in a year is amazing. Amazing. So, yesterday when I finished stitching, which would be year 2 and 6 days in, but I'm just calling it 1 weekend because I can't be bothered to do that math. So it's going to be year 2, 1 weekend is what it was on social media yesterday. I was at 64,770 stitches out of 265,824 stitches complete. And I'm at 24.366% complete. I am almost a quarter done. Almost. Oh, it's so close. And I'm done with 12 out of 60 pages, which is kind of not completely accurate because like, I think it's like here or here is another page finish, but I think maybe it's right here. But as you can see, I've already started working further over there because I'm doing it on the diagonal. So it's fine. It's fine. I just wait until I finish, like, you know, finish everything wherever the page finishes. I can't remember. You know, finish everything in that diagonal and then count it as the page finish. So, but yeah, making very good progress on this. And yeah, I'm working year 2. So we will see how much I can complete in the next year. So, all right, let's move on to the next segment. And there is cross-stitch content, so you should stick around. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, yummies. Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about, yummies. Okay, first up, I got the June 2022 issue of Just Cross Stitch. I'm not really very impressed by it. I don't even know that I marked what to show y'all. That's kind of cute. The bee box top. See, like I should have marked, like I don't even remember. Like I looked through this when it first came and then I was like, okay, well, that was nice. Well, oh, this was interesting. It was, the sampler sleuth section. This is Stitching Around the World, and they were celebrating Scottish samplers, which, as you know, I have a special place in my heart for Scotland. And they did the peacock piece out of that sampler and charted it. So that was kind of cool. That was done by Deborah Fasano of Historic Handworks. Historic Handworks, yes. Okay, that might be it. So here is like the picture glossary. Yeah. I have a subscription to this magazine, I think, through like 2024. But overall, I was not super impressed by this issue. So, fun times. However, something that I was super impressed by is the company Sparkle Shine Studios on Etsy. I had ordered some stickers from this shop, and the post office lost my order not once, but twice. And she still sent out a third order so that I would get my stickers. Customer service was so amazing, and you know, I thanked her profusely, and she was like, I like to put myself in the position of if I was a customer, what would I want to have happen? So she sent me not only the stickers I bought, but also some extras. So what I was ordering was Apple Watch rings because, I mean, come on. I also ordered some laundry day stickers because I was about to run out of those, and also ordered therapy stickers. And then she included this knitting batch of stickers, which is really, really cool. And she also sent this Courage Dear Heart card. And then there's emotional support water bottle. Medday, pardon my French. I don't know if I said that right. Pardon my French. That's what it says. No regrets with a seam ripper. And don't touch my planner. So I highly recommend this shop. She went so above and beyond, and I am putting a link to her shop in the show notes. You should definitely check it out if you're a planner sticker person like me. I love stickers. I just do. I love stickers. those are all my planner stickers. So, and then the third thing that came in the mail, oh, I'm just so in love. So I am in the Fangirl Fibers Gilmore Girls Yarn Club. And this is on fingering weight yarn, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 100 grams, 400 yards. And this was April's color. This is from season 1, episode 21, 1,000 Yellow Daisies. That pale, pale yellow, but with the pops of the daisy. Oh, it's so beautiful. My other colors are up there. So there's the pink one that was Oi with the Poodles. There is the red one, which I can't remember what it was called. And then there's the Chilton one. I'm like, I really want to knit something that I can use all these colors in. But what would that be? Because y'all know I'm not knitting another blanket after the zigzag blanket. That has like, I don't know, like 10,000 yards of yarn in it or something. It's big. Queen size. It's a queen size blanket that I knit in fingering weight yarn, if you're new here. So, yeah. So loving my Fangirl Fibers, Gilmore Girls yarn. I need to knit with it, but I don't know what I'm going to knit. Most likely it'll end up being socks because that's what I knit for the most part. So, okay, well, that is everything for Yummies for this time. So let's move on to the next segment. And now we're going to talk about what we're reading, watching, and listening to. A reminder about our RAL Read Along, which is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day every day. I don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. By participating in the seasonal RALs, which right now we're in April, May, and June, you earn entries into the year-long challenge. And at the beginning of 2023, we will draw for 3 grand prize winners. All the details are in the show notes, ggkcs.com, as well as in the Facebook group, and you enter in the Facebook group. Okay, I am not going to tell y'all everything I've read since we talked last because we'd be here for 12 years. When I'm super busy and need kind of that escape, I read almost exclusively on my phone through the Libby app. And like I can pick up my phone and read, 5 or 6 pages and then like set it back down and then get back to what I need to be doing. So I've read a lot. So some of what I've read recently is the second book in the Finley Donovan series by L. Cosimano. I think is how you say it. Finley Donovan Knocks Him Dead. And this is the series where she was mistaken for a contract killer. And she's like a divorced mom single mom with kids, younger kids. And, it's hysterical. It's so funny. I read the third book in the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, All In. This is the series that is kind of like Criminal Minds meets any one of those series where you have teenagers living in a place together. So these teenagers have abilities and they're solving crimes. And this book was set in Las Vegas. I think there's one more book in the series, maybe. So, I read The Heartbreak Bakery by A.R. Capetta, which is set in Austin, Texas. And it's this beautiful LGBTQ plus bakery. But then one of the bakers discovers that she may be putting more than ingredients into the baking that she's doing. It was a beautiful book. I really enjoyed it. I read The Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi, which, like the beginning of it felt, I was like, I don't know if I can read this because it's set when COVID starts. And they talk about it, and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can read about this. But it turns into this beautiful, like, or this, like, sci-fi alternate world kind of situation. And I really enjoyed it. I read the first book in the Witches of Thistle Grove series by Lana Harper, Payback's a Witch. This is like small town, there's witches, it's like kind of cozy type book. And I read Find Me by Alifair Burke, which, so it's like I'm like opening like the page on Goodreads. So it's like a woman disappears, but she previously has like this twist of she showed up in this town with amnesia and seemed to be running from something, and the amnesia didn't go away. So she disappears, and so her closest friend, as well as an NYPD homicide detective who also has like this family history of criminal situations and such, like getting encompassed in trying to find this friend, but also potentially solve like the family situation that may not have been totally accurate the way it had been solved. It was fascinating. It was very twisty-turny, as I'm doing with my hands. It was very, very twisty-turny, and I really enjoyed it. So you should check that out. What have I been watching? Some of what I've been watching, of course, is continuing to watch Law & Order Special Victims Unit, season 23, and episodes for the That's Messed Up in SVU podcast, Not Safe for Children. We are rewatching season 3 of Gilmore Girls with the I Am All In with Scott Patterson podcast, which I adore. Finished watching season 6 of Outlander. Wow. That final episode. I'm not going to spoil, but the final episode of season 6 and the cliffhanger that they leave us on. Please don't let us be in Droughtlander for too long. Please. I just started last night watching season 2 of The Wilds on Amazon Prime. And this is another whole twisty-turny thing. Like, you think you know one thing, and then it's like, wait, no, that's not actually what happened. So I'm watching it. I'm watching series 2 of Gentleman Jack, which is not safe for children. And I watched the Easter special of Doctor Who. And then I rewatched it and really enjoyed it again the second time. And listening to, of course, my favorite murder podcast, Random Playlists, and Pink and I've been having Lizzo dance parties. Pink's idea of a Lizzo dance party is looking at me like, what in the world are you doing, mama? Sometimes you just got to dance it out. And I can't dance really, but sometimes you just got to dance it out. And that's just life. So, all right, let's move on to the next segment. Now we're going to talk about our March, April, May Sheepy Spring Owl. Bah. So this started on the 1st of March and it runs through the 31st of May. So we're in our final month. It's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to spring. Your fallback, you made it in the spring. Even if you're the other hemisphere, it still counts. No whips are allowed. So you have to start you had to have started your project the 1st of March or later and finish it by the end of this month. Every project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that is at least 20 yards and that you post in the FO thread in the Facebook group is one entry into the giveaways. If your project is not at least 20 yards, you need to group it into a single photo with other projects that total at least 20 yards, and that one photo will be one entry to the giveaways. For stitching and sewing projects, we leave it to your best judgment. Email us if you have any questions. Feel free to poly dip in other owls as long as it fits in with the other rules. We do have a Google form that helps us make sure that if you are a prize winner, you're getting a prize for a craft that you actually do. So there's a link to that in the show notes as well as in the Facebook group. If you don't fill out the Google form and you win a prize, you get what you get. Speaking of prizes, we'd like to say a huge thank you to our prize donors. The prizes are on the screen right now. If you would like to donate a prize to this or a future owl, you can contact us at ggkcspodcast@gmail.com. The prizes for this owl are a Q-Snap floral cover, 2 skeins of Audine wools by Knit Crate Twinkle DK in the Knit Yorker colorway. 2 winners will each win 1 skein. A Katrinkles sheep shawl pin, Pandia's Jewels hand-dyed yarn delight in the blush colorway, and a Teresa Kogut angel print. Thank you to our prize donors. If you'd like to see these prizes more in detail, head over to the show notes, ggkcs.com. You have to be a member of the GGKCS podcast /FlossTube group on Facebook to participate. The hashtag is hashtag GGKCS Spring 22. The FO thread will be locked the morning of the 1st of June, and we will draw for winners for the next podcast and announce them on that next podcast. If you are a winner, you'll have 30 days from the day the podcast goes live to claim your prize, or you forfeit it. There is a chatter thread in the Facebook group, and people who finished projects since the last time we were together are Brittany M, Jane S, Jennifer H, and Silver D. Great job, y'all. Keep working on those projects. You have, I don't know how many weeks there are in May. You have 1, 2, 3. You have about 3.5 weeks left to finish your projects and get them posted, and you might be a winner. All right, let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for Ask the Geeks, the part of the show where you ask us questions and we try to answer them. This question that was originally asked and answered back in 2013, so many years ago. Kylie asked, I watched some Doctor Who growing up, but I'd love to start watching again. Where should I start? So, if you've been around, you know my Doctor Who story. That I was not a fan of Doctor Who when it restarted. So, there's Classic Who, which some of those episodes don't even exist anymore. They were not saved, and so there is no film of them. There have been some episodes that have been located, but so that's Classic Who, and then what is called New Who started in 2005, and that started with the 9th Doctor, Christopher Eccleston. And when it first started, it was very, very, very cheesy. And I was like, I'm not watching this. And then at some point during the podcast early on, I was encouraged to try and make it through the first few episodes, because those are important episodes for later in the show and it gets better. So I was like, fine, I will give in and do this. And now I'm addicted. So I would recommend starting with 2005 with the 9th Doctor. Yes, those first few episodes are very cheesy, but there's information there that you will need for later in the show. Christopher Eccleston stayed for a year and then regenerated into the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, who is my favorite. I love David Tennant as the Doctor. I don't know how many years he was around, but he was around for quite a while. He regenerated into the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, who he's very funny. I enjoyed his character. Who then regenerated into the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, who then regenerated into the first female Doctor, the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker. So there is one more episode of Doctor Who in which Jodie Whittaker is going to regenerate. Are they going to tell us prior to that episode airing, which I think is like late autumn this year? Are they going to tell us who the 14th Doctor is going to be? Or are we going to have to wait until after Jodie regenerates and then find out? I think they told us before in the past. And it becomes this whole big thing of speculation of who's the next Doctor going to be and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I don't know. I have no clue who the next Doctor might be. And then this will be the last episode with, what's his name? Chris something, who did Broadchurch as well. that Jodie Whittaker was in. His last series of Doctor Who, and then Russell T Davies from the beginning of New Who is coming back as the showrunner. So it'll be interesting to have him back and see where he goes with things. Yeah. Of course, my favorite episodes are the ones with River Song, played by Alex Kingston. I adore her. And yeah, so that's where I would start. I would start with The Ninth Doctor, 2005. Also, it might be confusing if you aren't aware. In the UK, and I'm sure other places as well, but UK, which is where Doctor Who is from, they call seasons series. So it can be confusing when it's like, oh, it's the series finale, but they don't mean it's the series finale. They mean it's the series finale. I think here in the US that it may have gotten changed to be season, but having lived in the UK for 4 years, that's where my brain goes to, and having to explain that series doesn't mean series, but sometimes series can mean series. I know it's very confusing, but so there you go. If you've ever wanted to start watching Doctor Who, Ninth Doctor. And if you have a question for us, you can post it in the Ask the Geeks thread in the Facebook group. You can post it as a question, a comment on the YouTube, any YouTube video. You can email it to us at ggkcspodcast@gmail.com. You can send me an Instagram message. Yeah, however you want to get it to us. And as evidenced by, I think it was the last episode we did, there's not been a question so far that we have not been willing to answer. So some of them are very like geek centric, as with Doctor Who. Some of them are craft related, some are life related, some are health related. And yeah, thus far there's not been a question we haven't been willing to answer. So let us know what you want to hear about. All right, let's move on to the next segment. And with that, we made it to the end of the show, and well before I need to leave before my appointment. So there we go. A few announcements. As I shared in FlossTube, I am a rep for Black Needle Society. Use my coupon code JavaPro5 for 5% off in the vault. A reminder about the Pride Along that started last year and runs through the end of June. So just a little under 2 months left on this. We're doing it with a group of other crafters, and there is a YouTube video in the show notes, ggkcs.com, that explains how to participate. Our hashtag is hashtag GGKCS Pride Along 2122. A huge thank you to everyone who supports the podcast, no matter how it is you support us. If you would like to help support monetarily, which primarily goes for shipping out prizes and technology behind the scenes, there are several ways. There's Patreon and YouTube Join. You can find out more and sign up at patreon.com/GGKCS, or by clicking the join button under any YouTube video. There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you'd like to make a one-time donation. There is bookshop.org, which supports us as well as local independent bookstores, and I create a shelf every episode for the books that we've discussed. And we're amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. Click on the link on our website, and we earn a little bit of money back based on what you purchase. You can find us online at ggkcs.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, etc. And with that, searching for. I hit the button and it wanted to search for what I had just said. With that, I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you have a lovely rest of your weekend. I hope you have a great week ahead. And yeah, happy crafting, and we'll talk to you again soon. I'm just sitting here on my bed eating my lunch, and somebody demanded some attention. Oh, she's giving you kisses. That's what we call it when Pink rips her face on the phone when I'm video chatting with Dammy. Oh, hi. You're a sweet girl.